Ladies and gentlemen, the future of Red Bull Racing is in danger. After surprise midweek firing of Christian Horner, two other senior leadership people have left the team. The first one is Paul Smith. He is the director of communications and social media, was the director of communications and social media. He hasn't even had time to update his LinkedIn, which is serious because this is a professional platform for business. And it seems that maybe he doesn't even have time to go and find other opportunities and get a different job. He just wanted out of Red Bull. That's why he probably didn't update his LinkedIn. So things are getting serious, and another person is Oliver Hughes, and he has been in Electronic Arts, and then he was in Red Bull, which is very impressive, and he was Group Chief Marketing and Commercial Officer, which sounds very important. So he must have been doing some important stuff in Red Bull, and he also left along with Paul to allegedly show solidarity with Christian Horner, and which is very understandable because Christian took this team from point scorers to championship winners to dominators. A lot of that credit definitely goes to Christian Horner. He has set the foundations like Max Verstappen and Adrian Newey and all those people who has made Red Bull the team that it is. And slowly, it seems, if you look back in time a little bit, many important people have been leaving the organization, and the teams that they're going to are finding success. So obviously, you have heard the news of Rob Marshall back in 2023. This guy was present in both of the Red Bull's domination eras, including Max Verstappen. This picture is from 2023, and Sebastian Vettel as well. So he was present in both of the dominant eras of Red Bull, and now he is in McLaren. He went to McLaren in 2023, and look at the impact McLaren has. They have won the constructors in the following season, and now like they are the team to beat. They are so far ahead that it's pointless right now for teams to even focus on the championship fight, because that's how far ahead Rob Marshall has propelled McLaren. So he has gone, and this is Zach Brown. He did a post. Rob Marshall doesn't have LinkedIn. I searched. Another person who will be leaving Red Bull in 2026 is Will Courtney, which means things will get even worse in the future. And he is currently the head of strategy, which is very important for race execution. You can see this picture of Will alongside Christian Horner trackside in some race, and he was here for the same duration as Christian Horner. He has been in Red Bull for 20 years, same time as Christian Horner, and he's a backbone. He's a foundational person of that team, and he was present throughout the Sebastian Vettel era and Max Verstappen era. And right now things are getting seriously worse. Now obviously there are other people that I didn't mention. The one is Adrian Newey. That one is very obvious. Everybody knows that. Then also a few other people went. Jonathan Wheatley. Jonathan Wheatley right here. He is right here. Let me just pull it up. He went to Sauber, team principal. As you can see, he was the sporting director of Red Bull, and now he is in Sauber, team principal, which will be Audi. So he is also another critical component of Red Bull and contributed a lot to their dominance. So a lot of important people are leaving or left Red Bull, and this guy is about to leave Red Bull, who was there from the beginning of the team, 20 fucking years, 2 decades. So the impact on the performance of Red Bull is very obvious right now. If you look at the last 2 races of Red Bull Racing, the Austrian Grand Prix in particular, it was a disaster. These guys went home with 0 points because Kimi Antonelli took Max Verstappen out of the race, and because one Italian took a Dutchman out of the race, the Italian team had the best result of their season. Congratulations to Ferrari. Sacrifices had to be made. And Yuki Tsunoda finished last. And this is how you find Yuki Tsunoda in the classification right now. You just go to the bottom, and the last finisher, this guy must be Yuki Tsunoda, and he is. And Yuki Tsunoda's main competition throughout the Austrian Grand Prix was Franco Colapinto. and he couldn't even manage to do that. While overtaking Franco, he hit him, got a 10-second penalty, damaged his front wing, a couple of extra pit stops that he didn't have to take, and he was way behind. He didn't even complete the exactly same number of laps as everybody else. That's how far he was behind. And he continues this stellar performance in the British Grand Prix as well. A lot of Yuki Tsunoda fans must be getting pissed the fuck off at me for taking the piss, because everybody's fan favorite. Like, Yuki Tsunoda is like a fan favorite, but you gotta admit, he's shit. There was never a moment in which Yuki is like, oh my god, he's lighting it up. Oh my god, look at Yuki. Watch out. There was never a moment in his career so far from 2021 where he had a string of such a good performances that he turned heads around the paddock. I don't remember that. Maybe I'm forgetting. But and in the Silverstone Grand Prix as well, if you go from the last and the first finisher, this must be Yuki Tsunoda, and he is. So Yuki Tsunoda again dead last, consistently coming first but from the wrong direction. And Max Verstappen, after qualifying on pole position, finished P5 because the car was undrivable. It was insane. So Red Bull's strategy was, they realized that their car is shit, and the only way they can get some performance out of it is by stripping all of the downforce, running Monza spec in Silverstone, and just Max Verstappen will handle it in the corners. That's the Red Bull strategy. Remove all of the downforce, and then Max Verstappen. That's their game plan. And it almost worked, because he put a 10th between him and the McLaren, and he took the last sector easy. So maybe there was like half a tenth more in this. So Max Verstappen almost makes the crazy strategy work, but during the race, due to rain and due to everything else, because the conditions of the car are also different, there's more fuel, you run different tires, you try to maintain different types of pace and stuff like that. So because of all of these variables, when factored into the race performance was just shit. The handling of the car, horrible. And Max Verstappen was complaining over the radio. And these two back-to-back weekends kicked Christian Horner out. Because in Austria, Mark Mateschitz, the main guy of Red Bull, he was present in Austria because it was kind of their home Grand Prix, the Red Bull Ring. And maybe there he gave some sort of ultimatum to Christian Horner that, hey, if Yuki Tsunoda finishes last again, then you are fired. Maybe something like that happened, and Yuki Tsunoda, he knew what the mission was, and he knew what he needed to do, and he delivered. Right now, among all of these things, I'm just thinking what Max Verstappen would do, because all of the important people are leaving. All of the people that contributed to the dominance of Red Bull at the front of the field, they are gone. And in 2026, Red Bull are designing their own engine, and that can go crazy. Because if you remember, when Honda re-entered Formula 1, it was shit. So that could very much well happen. They don't even have Adrian Newey to take them safely into the next generation of aerodynamics and whatever. I think over time we will see Red Bull Racing be acquired by Verstappen.com Racing, and it'll just be Max Verstappen. And I think we will see a return of Jos the Boss. So we will see how that pans out. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.